Welcome to Sports Talk with L-Beasley, y'all. I'm about to talk some NBA free agency. I've been getting a lot of requests from my fans, Twitter fans, Facebook fans, like, Lauren, what you think about what's been going on with free agency? So I'm here to tell you. Now, obviously, free agency hasn't completely ended, but, there's still plenty of good players out there that can get signed or traded, whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to give you my little analysis on what's been going on. So I'm going to start off with the 2012 NBA champs, the Miami Heat. I like what they did. To me, the Heat, the biggest thing with them has always been really just their role players and their big man. I mean, obviously, you got two great scorers, probably two of the best players in the top players in the NBA, and Chris Bosh, LeBron James, and Wade. So really, all you need is complementary players for them. So getting people like Ray Allen and Rashard Lewis, I like it. I thought it was a good move. Ray Allen, he's a shooter, which is something they need. I think if Mike Miller does retire, which I am hearing that he's leaning towards doing, he's a good shooter. He wants to be on a championship team. He wants to win one more ring. He has the motivation. That's a good pickup. And even Rashard Lewis. I like the Rashard Lewis pick. Rashard Lewis is a nice wing who's unfortunately been hobbled by injuries, as far as knee, thigh, stuff like that. But I think he's still a nice addition. He's consistent. He can defend. He's a good, decent defender. He can score from the outside. He spreads the floor a little bit. When you're playing against a smaller team, you can kind of put him in a post a little bit. So I do like the idea of adding Rashard Lewis. But the big thing always with the Heat role players, this kind of has always been, you have good players, but will they step up on a consistent basis? I think Ray Allen and Rashard Lewis will, but obviously we'll find that out once the season starts. Let's see, we got the Knicks. The Knicks, I like what the Knicks did. The Knicks, they've been all over the place, but I do like what the Knicks did. They went and got J. Kidd, which I think is a good addition. I wanted them to get a point guard who could create. That was my biggest thing. Obviously, Nash would have been the first person I would have liked them to get because I knew Darren wasn't going there. But they couldn't get Nash. And Jason Kidd is a good addition. He makes others better. He's going to create. That's something Carmelo and Amari seem like they need. They need someone to do that, apparently, to be successful. So I do like the fact that Jason Kidd is there. And whatever point guard, if they do decide to keep Jeremy Lin and match his offer, he's a good addition, and he can learn from Jason Kidd. Iman Shumpert's coming off the torn ACL, but that's another good guy who can learn from Jason Kidd. So not only is he a leader, somebody who can create for the team, but I also feel like he's going to do a good job of helping out the backup point guard and helping them to expand their game. They also got J.R. Smith. They re-signed him, which I thought was a nice move. And they didn't get him for a lot of money either, which, he's worth what they gave him. So I like that idea. And then the biggest thing of all, you got a nice little big man to complement Tyson Chandler and Marcus Camby. And I like that. Tyson Chandler obviously is a beast defensively. But now you can bring in somebody else. We know Tyson Chandler has kind of been a thing with him sometimes, at least with New York. He kind of foul trouble a lot. So a lot of times you couldn't keep him in the game, and that was huge. So now you have Marcus Camby who can come in off the bench and still add that scoring when you need it, just like Tyson Chandler can. So I like what the Knicks did. I really do. Clippers, they didn't necessarily do anything spectacular. They gave Blake 95, 94 million. I'm not going to get into that. But, going to get Lamar Odom and going to get, who else did they get? Jamal Crawford. I like those additions. You lose Nick Young. So you go get Jamal Crawford, who can be that backup point guard for Chris Paul. So now when Chris Paul does go out, you can feel a little bit more comfortable about having a good point guard in Jamal Crawford. And obviously Lamar Odom, he likes LA. I mean, he threw a hissy fit in Dallas because he had to leave LA. So I'm guessing this is going to motivate him a little bit more. And I think that's just a nice addition. He's a versatile player, so he can spread the floor well, and that's one thing about Lamar that he's done well. So that's another good addition for pretty much the Clippers, and I like it. I think that's going to make the Clippers better. But, once again, we'll see how people like DeAndre Jordan, Blake Griffin continue to expand their game and step up along with the rest of the role players. The Lakers, they got Nash. That's been their biggest acquirement pretty much this entire summer. I love this move. The only downside of Nash is defensively. I have my worries about him, but I have my defense worries about half the players in the NBA. So, but one thing about Nash that, for the first time at least since I've been watching the game, the Lakers have a creator. Ever since I've been born, I don't remember watching a game and being able to say Lakers have a true creator. They've had point guards who can dribble and, get assists and everything, but they never had a true creator. And I think that is what's going to help take the Lakers over the edge. Now that you have Steve Nash, who makes everybody around him better. We've seen it for Phoenix in years. So I know that that's going to be a key addition for the Lakers. Obviously Kobe's going to be Kobe, but he's going to help out people like Bynum, Gasol, if they keep those two guys unless something goes down in free agency with trading or anything like that. But even the people that we haven't necessarily seen do well on a consistent basis, like your Matt Barnes, your, your Ron Artest, your people who we know are capable. We know Steve Nash can make them better, and it's going to get them the ball in the right places, to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. So I love that addition. The Nets acquired about 6-7 players. They got, let's see, Darren Williams. They re-signed Darren Williams. They re-signed Gerald Wallace. They signed Joe Johnson, which, whew, that's a hefty penny. They're trying to re-sign. Well, they did re-sign Brook Lopez, and then they got Stackhouse, but that Jerry Stackhouse don't count. So I liked what they did. Honestly, I don't really feel that they need to. I don't think that they need to go get Dwight Howard per se. Maybe that's just because me, Dwight Howard. I like Dwight Howard and everything. I just don't. I feel this way about Nets and Lakers. Keep who you got. I mean, I think you're fine with what you got. If you want to trade them, fine. But I like what the Nets are doing. What they have now. They have a legit starting five. They have some nice role players come off the bench. I like what the Nets are doing. They can add a couple more pieces, but I like what I'm seeing. The Mavericks kind of surprised me, kind of came back a little bit, which I liked. Early on they really weren't doing much, and we were all kind of dogging Dallas because you lost Jason Terry, and it was just kind of like, well, what are you guys doing? But as of lately, they kind of did some nice things. They got rid of one of their younger big men and ended up getting Collison and Dante Jones, Darren Collison and Dante Jones from the Pacers, which I like. Nice young point guard in Darren Collison, a nice shooter, versatile defender in Dante Jones, and they're both young. And then you went and got Chris Kaman, which I like. Chris Kaman is still that nice little big man piece who can be key defender and we know score as long as he stays healthy. And then you went and just got Elton Brand, which I like. Only problem is you are kind of getting a little old in the post. Which, but Elton Brand kind of proved in Philly he can be worth it, and he is a decent defender as well. So I like the move by the Mavs, especially as of late, because they pretty much did this all within a week. So I like what the Mavs did. The Boston Celtics, I like what they did. I like what they did. I don't like necessarily the money they spent, but I like the way that what they did. They went and got Jason Terry, which I feel is a good piece. No offense to Ray Allen, but I think Jason Terry is maybe a little bit more versatile for what the Celtics need. He's a better defender. He can guard the 2 or the 1, more preferably the 1. But he's also just that nice guy you can either start or bring off the bench. We know he's been known for coming off the bench, so I'm assuming that's what he's going to do now. But I just like the fact that, he can kind of be that other defender who's going to cause issues. Ray has never been the best defender. He's always been a heck of a scorer. But, Jason Terry, we know he's an aggravator on defense, and that's what Boston loves, is defense. And not only that, he can score from pretty much anywhere on the 3-point line, mainly the corner, top of the key, but he also can slash, and also is just a motivator and can be another leader on that court other than Kevin Garnett. They also re-signed Jeff Green. I don't like for all that money. I mean, I like Jeff Green. I don't know if he's worth all that money they gave him, but once again, they added some youth, some athleticism in Jeff Green, which is good, and then they got Brandon Bass back. Hopefully he'll have more of a consistent role this time, but I like what he did. The Pacers, they kind of did some underrated things. They got rid of Darren Collison and ended up getting DJ Augustine from the Bobcats. And I'm hoping, as a fan of DJ Augustine back when he was playing in Texas, I'm hoping that this will be a good fit for him. And they re-signed George Hill, so now you have 2 good point guards once again. They got Gerald Green, Mr. Athletic Monster. If you don't remember him, go back to the dunk contest days when he blew out the cupcake. Candle on the cupcake, but he's another athletic guy. I like the fact that he can come in kind of after Granger or Paul George, and he can learn from them as well, because I think he does have talent and he's just pure athletic. So I think he has potential to be good. He just needs somebody to kind of help him find his way, and I'm hoping the Pacers can do that. And then they also got another big man in Ian Mahoney, which is from Dallas, who they got in the trade. So I do kind of like the idea of him. He has potential. He's a nice big man. Let's see what he can do. And obviously trying to get Roy Hibbert as well. So I like what the Pacers are doing. As long as they keep Roy Hibbert, I mean, I think that this team has the capabilities of, to do well. I just want them to keep building and, become great. Bulls really didn't do too much. I mean, they got Heinrich, which wasn't too big of a deal, at least not for me. But the team that kind of stuck out or did little things that kind of stuck out to me were first Minnesota. They went and got Brandon Roy. How they swung that, I will never understand. But, I'm happy. Brandon Roy, welcome back to the NBA. First off, happy to see that you're back. I would have preferred you pick somebody like the Bulls, the Lakers, somebody else other than the Timberwolves, but I'm happy that you're back, so I take what I can get. I like the fact that he's there. I think he's going to help out Rubio and the rest of those guys who are there. I think he can possibly help take them over the edge. The only thing I was just concerned about was the up and down running that he's going to do with Rubio because he has the bad knees, so I'm a little concerned about that. But other than that, I'm happy to see him back, and I think he's going to help Minnesota tremendously. And they also got Chase Budinger, which is another nice wing that they can add who can spread the floor. The Thunder, they anything special, but they did go get Hasheem Thabeet, and that's another nice big man, at least defensively, who can do something for you. So I do like the idea they went and got Hasheem Thabeet. And then the Suns have kind of been that sleeper team who's kind of done some things that I like. I mean, they went and got L-Beasley, they went and got Eric Gordon, and they got Morris Dragic. So they kind of, I'm not going to call them a big three or anything, but they kind of added some nice pieces. But I'm more interested to see how they're gonna work together. You know, L-Beasley can, you know, all the issues that he's had on and off the court, can you handle that? Eric Gordon, you know, how are you going to play in the Suns system? And then finally Morris Dragic, you know, can you be that creator and facilitator that's not necessarily Steve Nash once was, but can you create for them? Because that's what made the Suns as good as they were anyway, even though they weren't necessarily all that great, but Steve Nash made them better just because of his ability to create. So can Morris Dragic do that or help that team in some other way? And then the Spurs, I like what they did, re-signing their good talent. With the exception of Danny Green, I didn't mind re-signing Danny Green. I just didn't like all the money they gave him. I didn't think he was worth that, all that. But re-signing Boris Diaw, re-signing Danny Green, and then finally re-signing Tim Duncan. I love all those moves. So that was just good stuff. So, you know, I'm really excited. I'm happy that the revenue was getting shared. That was my biggest thing. Anybody who knows me, I just want to see a competitive NBA. That's been my whole thing. I just don't want to see everybody on the Lakers. I don't want to see everybody on the Heat. I don't want to see everybody on Boston. I want to see the revenue shared. And after just going down this list, you can see that, you know, revenue's getting shared, and we're gonna have a competitive league. So that's what I'm happy about seeing. And if you didn't see what I'm wearing, you know, I'm wearing Moneyball gear. You know, Moneyball gear. You know how we do Moneyball gear. I'm repping Moneyball. You know, the only way to ball is Moneyball. You know, repping the rubber bands. They got some cool gear, man. I'm telling you, they got ball on lights, high shirts. You know, it's all over the place. You're gonna see me a lot wearing these bands or some type of Moneyball t-shirt. Go on my website. You can go visit their website, moneyballsportswear.com. I'm telling you, they got some good gear. I mean, you know me, I only rep the best. So I'm wearing it, you know what I'm saying? You see what this say, balling is a habit. Because it is, man. So no, man, go to my website, and you can go access the link on my website to their website, or just go to moneyballsportswear.com. I'm telling you, they got some good stuff, good deals. The owner is a great guy. He loves the game. Go follow him on Twitter. And you already know what it is. Let me know what you thought about what I had to say. You know, if you want me to expand more on what I think about free agency, let me know. If you don't agree with what I said, you know, let me know. Y'all don't get all shy on me. You know what it is. If you want to be a guest on my show, let me know what it is. You know, I got chairs just waiting to be filled, man. Y'all seen guests on here. You got something you want me to bring up on my show? Email me, tweet me, message me. Let me know what's going on, and I promise you, I'm going to bring it up on my show. So once again, thank you for tuning in this segment of Sports Talk with L-Beasley, y'all. Thank you.